Hello. Right, sorry for the late start, guys. We've had a bit of a connection issue to the YouTube, so we're just going to dive in the room now, and we'll get running with what we need to do. How are we all? Smalley's there, away in the background. Great drive from on his Group 2 debut today. Made up for the guy. Great driver, and I'm sure as the season goes on, if he gets more drives, you'll see him just starting to nudge up a little bit further. But yeah, great debut drive. So we'll see. We've got the usual suspects in the race today. Robbo just having a bit of a spin there. We've got Proctor, Ready Shaven Castle, Grimm's deputising for Other today. So Grimm will be tired. He'll have done a double stint. But I'm sure we'll see me hitting wrong buttons again. So we'll go. Right, let's have a look, just go through. We'll stick with Proctor for a minute now. Bet he couldn't do that, and he couldn't Smalley. Yep, so we've got Proctor off the front by about 2 seconds at the moment. I'm assuming this is still quali. That's a hell of a lead over Phil Babbage, so it's a really good lap. And whether the others have not quite hit their markers yet. I am having a bit of a feast as well, so it's good. So we'll ask Smalley in the stream then how he felt his debut in Group 2 went. I thought he did very well. Catch him at the end of a little bit. But yeah, great result, strong result. We've got 2 RC sets out front at the moment. Ready Shaven in the green Porsche today. It's an interesting change. Castle 4th, Doc Coupe in 5th, so there's 3 of the RCZs in the top 5. Great little car. Struggle sometimes where there's not as much in the way of top speed, but it's a good, really good balance handling car. Harley 6th, Grim 7th, BJ Robbo 8th, Iceman Kimmy 9th, and Ash in 10th. Ash looks like we're trying to burn a little bit of fuel off now to get the car a little bit lighter for a last flying stint. So we'll stick with Ash. I expect Ash to stick in a decent lap. I know they've been doing some solid times in practice rooms, which I'd expect Ash to be a lot further up than this. So we'll stick with him, see what we can do, see if we can put it inside the top 5 from here. Second half of the lap with Ash now. This is the slightly more flowing end to the lap. A little bit tight and twisty and doesn't really flow in the first part. Once you come up here, coming through the Schumacher S's, I believe these are called, they'll be flat in these cars. And then you've got the drive down to the back end of the lap. This is the faster end of the lap. You can really get some straight line speed through these sections. Great drive out into the back straight there from Ash. We're just going down to the last chicane. And chicane you can take two or three different ways really. It's very, very tight. You can ride the curb and sometimes you get a little bit wrong and lose it, or like actually they just take a little bit of the curb and get a good solid drive through it. So we'll watch him come over the line to see where he's going to end up. I'm sure it shoved him up a few places at least. Up into 5th, there we go, top 5. So we've got AJ and Smalley. We've got 8 watchers in with us at the moment. Give us an hello. I'm trying to do social media corner and comms and just be Ace at the moment. So we've got AJ in there, Smalley's in there. Give us a hello, tell us who you are. I'm sure we'll have some Team Harley in there. I'd expect to see Mr. Hussey in there. He's a regular. Fred Proctor, a Smalley fan. Not sure why myself, but so we've got Castle. He's on a lap, and he's currently 0.6 off the front. The new colour scheme there is obviously faster than the red, so he's going to pull through. It's very nice looking colour. Ready Shape looks to have just improved his lap time. It's taken him up to 2nd. So you're qualifying, you got Castle, Ready Shape and Proctor, Kimmy, Ash, Dot Coop, Harley, BJ, Robbo. So your top 8. Get Ash to do social media corner whilst he's racing. Not quite sure that's going to work, AJ, but maybe you can get him a little iPad and can do it in his car. So we're going to watch the start here. It's away. It's another one of them first corners that can be real carnage. Hopefully everyone will get through it clean and tidy, but it can be a real melee down into turn 1. So everyone's away off the line. We've got Ready Shape on the inside line, Cast on the outside. I think these two will give each other a little bit of space. You've got the three Porsches that are away at the front. Ash made a place up on the start there to 4th in front of the 2 RCZs. And then you've got Doc Coop, Proctor, Phil Babbage and BJ Robbo. It's your top 8 at the moment. This is the section of the track that's really quite difficult to get a good grasp of. It's very tight. It's quite easy to lose a lot of time through there. Hairpin at the moment on the way to drag back up to the Schumacher S's. Thank you very much, Mr. OFR. I'm sure I'll be dead by Christmas, the amount of birthdays I've had this year. So we've got Ready Shape at the moment, Castle behind in 2nd, away at the front, and Kimmy and Ash having a little battle for 3rd and 4th. Just dropped a little bit further back, you've got Doc Coop, Proctor, Harley, BJ Robbo, on the back heels. So there's only 7 drivers, so it's going to be points for everybody today. Can't have a little bit quieter. Is that any better? Is that a little bit louder? We're sat with Grim at the back. Grim's double stinting today, so he's taken over from Othed, who's got other commitments with him. Ash with a great lunge down into turn 1 to take the lead. There's a little bit of contact as he drifts wide there, but he's made it stick. It was a great move by Ash there into turn 1. A little bit squirrely from Ash there. we've got a 6-car train in front at the moment. Ashaway, Ready Shaven, Castle, Kimi, Proctor, Dot Coop. Ash is going in the purple first sector. So we'll just dive back down to the back end of this battle in a minute. You've got also a battle between BJ Robbo and Harley. Right, it's going to be tight, that'll go on. So Grimm's up to 9th now. In front of Phil Babbage. So Ash is putting a gap now into Ready Shaven in second. He's taken just over 3/4 of a second out of him on this lap. And we just have a look back a second, see if I can do this. I'm not messages. Let's try and get the party audio a little bit louder. Oh, making a right mess of this. I think I'm going to have to just swallow the microphone a little bit for now and try and get my vocals a little bit louder over this, and I'll make sure we've changed it for next week. So actually still away at the front. Ready Shape was just caught him back up a little bit now. Do you like the food, Astro? I do. The food I was having, I've just had a cauliflower pie, which is quite tasty. So the gap at the front now is fairly static with Ash, about 3/4 of a second in front of Ready Shaven, Castle and Kimi. It's a good drive so far from these front four. The pressure's on the Porsches behind to try and catch the Lexus, who's just putting that bit of gap into at the moment. And then you've got, it's just starting to become a top 5 now. Dot Coop just dropping off the back a little bit. And Harley's made his way through to 7th and Grimm to 8th. So there's good progress being made from the second 2 R&P drivers as well. And Phil Babbage and BJ Robbo has dropped back down to 10th. So maybe had an incident somewhere. Do you think we can break the 500 comment record? Let's go for it. 472, I think, was what we had before. Whoa, Ash picks up just a half-second penalty there for just creeping across the chicane a little bit too much there. Luckily with turn 1 being quite a slow turn, he should be able to scrub most of that down to this first corner and not really affect him too much. So he might lose about 6, maybe 7 tenths of his lead going down into this corner. He chooses not to scrub it, he's going to let it run. So we're doing it, at least with GTS you can let the penalties run and take them at the end, or just start to just nibble away at them all the way through, a little bit through the race. We've got a bit of chat in the social media corner on who we think is going to win. We've got people voting for Ready Shaven as much as they want Ash to win. It will be Ash's debut win in OFR, which is always nice for people to get. But Ready Shaven, Castle and Kimi, they have been very, very quick. They're there or thereabouts. It's probably in the first stint. There's not really a lot of pressure on them to try and make time. They're just sitting behind. The gap's manageable. They've got a gap now, but 2.5 seconds back to Proctor in 5th. Who's got Dot Coop with him now. Both got half-second penalties, and Harley and Grimm a little bit further back than 7th and 8th. Ash has just started to nibble away at that penalty a little bit there, taking a 10th off it. So I don't know what people think we're going to have strategy-wise today. I think possibly a 2-stop, maybe even a 3. I know a lot of people are saying the tyres tend to drop off after 5 laps. I would think a 2 stop's probably the most likely, but it will see at the end of this lap if people are going to dive in for the 3. Gap's just starting to come back down again between Ash and Ready Shaver now. It's down to 0.6. Maybe the tyres are just starting to lose the edge that they had at the start. The Porsche will suit this track as well. It's a very well balanced car. And the Lexus will start to pull away where the areas with its straight line speed. Again, just see the dominant top line speed of the Lexus just starting to pull away into the 6th gear down as small as hairpin. Smallly beyond it, he's got a corner on a track named after him now. So if you look back, you've got Castle and Ready Shaver now. Kimmy's just starting to drop off the back of these guys a little bit, which you normally expect Kimmy to be right in the middle of this battle up front. And it's allowing Proctor just to creep back in a little bit in his bringing Doc Coop with him in 5th and 6th. Harley's in 7th now. Phil Babbage's made it back up to 8th, so there's been a little bit of a loss of time by Grim there. Obviously last night he's not had any laps in the car before today. Just basically thrown the setup on and run with it. So still a good driver, still in the points. So Ash is staying out. In fact, the top 5 at least are staying out. Kimmy's in the pits, so Kimmy's possibly going to go for a 3 unless he changes something different. So we'll just jump on with Kimmy now and just see what he's putting on tyre-wise, what he comes out with. He's on another set of softs, so maybe he's going to go for the 3-stop strategy. The guys at the front are starting to look like a little bit more like they're going to go and try and make the 1-stop work. Ash has really pulled out his gap in now. He's now got the gap up to 1.8 from Castle and Ready Shaven. Fake tax, oh god, we're onto that one. I'm sure there's some chat going on in social media corner. We'll leave it there and not Google. We've got some love out there for Kimmy as well. So a little bit of a slip there for Ash. It's come back down to about 1.6. So we'll see what happens in the first round of pit stops as well, as to how this plays out. I'm sure Kimmy's going to try something a little bit different and see if he can just make this gap back up on a pit strategy. I'm getting told it wasn't PG. It's not me in the chat that's going through it. So we've got some Sarah Sky. Hello, Sarah. So Ash is in the pits on lap 6. So perhaps a 2-stop, 6, 12 and 18 maybe. Sorry, 6 and 12. Or on a slightly longer stint on the last step. You've also got Castle. So Castle stayed out. Ready Shaven and Proctor are in as well. So maybe Castle's trying the same 2-stop but with the tyre stops in the other order. You'd have to do the 7-lap stint on there in the 2 6s. So maybe he's doing his 7.66 and Ash on the 6.67. Castle's tyres are just getting a little bit squirmy now. It's getting a little bit loose on most of the exits of the corners. So you've got Doc Coop up in the 2nd now. Ash behind him in 3rd. Kimmy, Proctor, Ready Shaven, Harley, Phil Babbage in 7th. Grim in 9th. Just having a little wobble there. His front tyres are very worn now. So I would imagine he'll be in at the end of this lap to change them. BJ Robbo has just come out of the pits on a fresh set of softs. Ash is up into second. He's lost a little bit of his penalty there, so he's only got 0.2 now to lose in the rest of the race. So where we're thinking then in social media corner on the actual race winning now, but obviously Ash has got a good start at the minute. He's got Castle on the pit stop, and he's got Kimi right up with him on not too dissimilar a strategy. Kimi maybe pitting early to get out of trouble, pick up a fresh set of tyres and make a push. But he's really is all over the back of Ash now. These two race together in the Enduro League on a Wednesday, so they'll know each other quite well. I'm sure the race will be clean between the two of them. So Ash retakes the lead on the pit stagger. We've got Doc Coop and Proctor both just left the room as well. There's two guys just left at the same time, and it was a connection issue for both of them at the same time. Ash just getting on the power, getting a little bit loose in the back end there. Managing to hold it, keeping his gap constant with Kimi now around half a second. Just going a little bit deep on there. You got Castle and Ready Shaven coming up as well, just starting to pull this gap back in. So jump back down before the single car there. Bit of a scrap. So you got Harley's now up into fifth on a fresh set of tyres. He's just starting to eat into this gap. The Porsche in front is about 10.5 at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that. Skip Phil Babby's there in sixth. Safe sixth with Grim 7th, BJ Robbo 8th. So everyone's going to score decent points today. With two unfortunate connections from the Apocalypse Racing RCZs. Just dive on with Kimi for a little bit. You see he's just nipping into the gap a little bit with Ash now. He's to be in the slipstream. The Lexus, when you get onto the fastest off, will just start to drag away a little bit. Kimi closes right up there going into the last chicane. Gets a good drive out. So what do we think then? Social media, do we like the new tag livery? I like it. I like it. It's very bright, very green. It looks like three frogs racing behind Ash down there. You can see there on the straight, the Lexus does just have the legs on the Porsche in a straight line. Castle away in third. He's about 1.5 seconds behind. So he hopefully maybe just be able to get onto the back of this. And we've got Ready Shaven's just dropped off the back. I know Ready Shaven was a tip for the win. So I'm just trying to catch up with social media as well. Ready Shaven's maybe just too far back for this now, but you've got pit stops to take into account. You could pull this back. Not a million miles away, 3.5 seconds off the lead, and just starting to nip back into that by maybe a couple of tenths a lap. The gap at the front's just opening up again. It's just back up to just over a second. Ash back to Kimi. Probably about 3 laps away from the next round of pit stops, and then we'll get an idea of where people are at. So it's back down there in the slightly slower sections, more rhythmical sections, to about 0.8 between the front two, or 1 to 4, all in the same shot there coming down into turn 1. little bit glitchy from Ash there, but he's made it round. It's given Kimmy a little bit to keep back up, but only by about a tenth. It's been quite a clean race so far. I think there's been no major incidents that we've caught. Stop looking at him or he will get commentator's curse. There you go. He may well do. May well do. It's fairly dominant drive. We've got Harley's now. He's up into 5th. Again, solid points for him. He's just pulling away from Phil Babbage now in 6th, with Grim 7th. It's maybe not quite used to set up on that car yet with having no practice laps, and he's just got to get in and drive it. They're still doing well there in 7th, and BJ Robbo in the Wasp powered car in 8th. Jump back onto ready shaping for a little bit, just see if he can pull this gap back down to the front 3. It's just losing time a little bit. It's about 2 seconds now. That's Castle in 3rd. The tag team have been dominant in the series so far. I'm sure they're leading the point sections. Just down into turn 1 again, lap 11. I think probably the end of the next lap, or the end of this lap, maybe the end of the next lap, you might just start seeing people just starting to think about a second round of pit stops if you're going to try and pull an undercut on the leaders. The gap back down now to about 0.8. It's now a 3-way battle. There's now 1.1 covering your top 3. It's going to get tight in the second half of this race. And whoever wins this race will be a well-deserving winner. It's been a good clean battle between this front 4. Castle maybe just dropping off the back with that second penalty and making it a 2-way fight for the moment between Iceman and Ash. That's where we get to with comments in the stream at the moment. We'll get the numbers up on how many we've got. 217, it's not bad. We're going to have to go quite a way to get more than 500 in the stream today. I don't know what the prize should be either. So again, the front 3 have all closed up again now. You're back down to about 1.3. I know Castle's got that 0.4 penalty, but that will scrub. You'll be able to lose that at some point over the next 7 laps. Currently your fastest lap with a 54.5, which is a great lap in these cars. And your top 4 have stayed out. So I would imagine you'll start to see these maybe diving in at the end of this lap. So again, these top 3 still fairly close together. The battle possibly coming is between Castle and Iceman here for 2nd and 3rd. That's down to 0.4. I know Castle's got that penalty, but he will be able to lose that. So it's a real tight battle there between the 2 tag teammates. And maybe Castle might go for a move down into Smallies. Nope, he held back. I would imagine these guys will be in the chat, so it's obviously going to sort themselves out as to who's got the line and maybe whose turn it is to win. But yeah, we're down to a 10th between the 2 of them now. Castle's having a real good run here. He's going to go around the outside and try and then take the inside of the tight left-hander here. And he has just popped him. He's taking him now, so we'll see if he can start to pull away from from Castle, and maybe put a challenge in on Ash as well now. Start back on with Ash at the moment, a little bit of jump over the chicane there. So Ash has gone in the pits, being followed in by Kimi, with Castle staying out. So this is going to be a good fight for the lead there between Ash and Kimi when they both come out of the pits here. Your 7-lap dash. Ash tucking on a good amount of fuel there as well. Both fuel to the end, so they both come out about the same gap as they had before, so similar strategy, similar sort of fuel usage. Ash is still carrying that 0.2 penalty as well, so it just gives Kimi a little bit of an advantage, because by the time you slow down losing, it's probably going to be a little bit more than 0.2. They've currently got about 13 seconds to pull back on Redishaven and Castle, who are... Redishaven will probably be in this lap, which he's definitely got the blinking red light. Castle, you would think both will be in at the end of this lap then, and we'll be able to see whether Ash and Kimi will be able to make the pit stop strategy work and jump them in the pits. We've got Castle going really wide there, losing the back end, just giving Redishaven a chance to climb right on the back of him. As the two of them go through, so there's this cone in the middle of the track there. Just drop away on the back straight down into the final chicane. It's a very, very difficult place to make a pass down into this last chicane. You've got to be really, really clean, because the second part of it comes in really, really tight. Castle's second a tight, slightly defensive line on the way in. He's just managed to make it stick. I'd expect to see these two dive into the pits now, and then we'll see whether the pit strategy's worked from Ash and Kimi. Yep, so your front two are now in the pits. So we'll see as Ash and Kimi come through nose to tail through the final chicane there. We'll see where these two, they should come out in front of Castle and Redishaven. Kimi's really keeping Ash honest here. He's not got a moment to take a breath or make a mistake. So they have taken the first and second back. And Castle comes out just behind him, and Redishaven. This is going to be a four-way battle now in the last 6 laps for the lead. The strategy's really played into some great TV footage. We'll jump back with Redishaven a bit, he was in 4th, and we'll be able to watch. You see all 4 cars in the same shot there, so the two strategies that are possible to make work around here have really played out for these front 4. Redishaven just a little bit off the bat. Castle's there with about 0.7. The gap between Castle and Kimi very similar to the gap between Ash and Kimi there. Kimi 0.21. Castle still got the fastest lap with that 54.5. I would think with this slipstream there's a chance there that we may see that go, may see that drop down a little bit further. We'll see Castle just see if he can pull any time back out of that fastest lap that he already holds. Up to 348 comments in the stream now. We've only got 150 to go if we want to break that 500 barrier. So we can have some spam comments. Fred Proctor, we're at 353. Castle's had a big wobble there, which gives Redishaven a chance to nip through. And Kim's trying to make a move around the outside of Ash, going onto the straight. It's going to be a drag race down to look at these two side by side. Kim is just marginally ahead, but Ash has got the inside line, which is the better line into the first corner. You've got a tendency to perhaps run a little bit deep. Kimi tries a perfect cutback there. It's a fantastic Fantastic driving for these front two. It's just going to be like this now to the end. It's going to be a real pressure race to see who's got the nerve to hold it. Kimi can just, if he can just put another 10th back, he would just take that on stagger, because Ash has still got that 0.2 penalty. He could do with losing that fairly quick. A little bit of a squeeze there, but fairly clean. He knew it was obviously it was going to happen. Kimi's really starting to turn the screw on Ash now. Right on his bumper, there'll be some orange and blue paint on the front of that Porsche by the end of this race, I'm sure. Taking a wide line down into smallies there to try and make the cutback. And we're back to a very close front four now. Orange and green should never be seen, Robot. That's absolutely right. I don't think we're going to get to the end of this race without them being seen. The gap's now about 0.4. Maybe Kimi's just taking a breath. I say if you can just keep within 2 tenths of Ash. Ash has done very well there. Just take another 10th off that penalty there. So it's now down to 0.1. And this is going to be a straight dogfight now. There's no penalties really going to play. That 0.1, it's not really going to make a difference at the end result. You've got Reddy Shaver just trying to take a move down the outside of Kimi into turn 1, just slotting in behind him. Is Kimi going to go for the break into turn 1? No, Ash has gone very tight, which is going to make the drive out of it affected. Kimi stuck right with him there. Reddy Shaver went deep, just giving Castle the chance just to come back into third. Let's have a quick dive back down the rest of Reddy Shane was off. Reddy Shane was off at turn 1. So that's going to give... That's not hardly a chance really to come back any higher up than 4th. There's still a 25-second gap there, but great job. Reddy Shane was left. Maybe that's the connection problem that he had that caused him to go off at turn 1, but that puts Harley up into 4th, which is a great result. Phil Babbage 5th, Grimm 6th, and BJ Roberts 7th. I think this race is going to be the epitome of to finish first you've got to finish. Doesn't seem to be anyone wants to do the full 19 laps. So Ash has just pulled out about 0.7 of a second now over Kimi, which is starting to get towards a manageable gap size. He'd like a little bit more, so if he can maybe just pick his lines a little bit clearer without any pressure from behind. But 0.7 is still a good gap. It's fluctuating now, and you've got the two Porsches really pushing each other forward. $61 comments now to get us to a 500. I think we deserve a prize. We're down to... Oh, it's going to go. It is going to go, even if people just end up typing one letter at a time. I'll put mine in there as well, just so I've been part of the Epic 500 Club. So now, again, Kimi's really pulled some time back on Ash now. He's down to within a quarter. Ash still has that 0.1 of a penalty to go. Kimi's going to try and go wide and try and cut back and see if he can make that work. Very close between his front. Some very clean and strong driving all the way through this race from these three. It's just a shame Reddy Shaver looks to have had that connection issue that's caused him just to dive out of the room. So there's a battle going on now between Kimi and Castle. These two could just do with playing the team game a little bit more, I think, and just allowing this just to run until the last lap. It's just stretched out to 0.7. It's just come back a little bit as well. It's up and down. It's yo-yo in this gap. Coop's asking how many people have to be disconnected before they deem it a re-race. I would let Robot answer that, but I would think it's probably gone too far now for that to be considered. So the gap's now down to half a second, 2.5 laps to go, and the pressure's really on now. Castle's taken over the mantle. Castle's the one trying to chase Ash down now. He's got it back to within half a second. Kimmy's just dropped off the back of this battle now. So it's going to be a dogfight between Castle and Ash for the win. Just coming down into the final chicane now. Ashley's just scrubbed most of that penalty, but he's given Castle a chance really just dive into the back of him. He's going to be properly in the slipstream now as you go down onto the straight and down into turn 1. There's 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go, and Kimmy's just dropped off the back of this. Again, Castle's going to go for the undercut, see if he can make it work. Good drive out there by Castle. He's right on Ash now. He's really pushing him through turn 2 and turn 3. These are the hardest corners. Turn 2, 3 and 4 are the hardest corners on the track, I think. Ash is just running a little bit wide there as Castle's just starting to push. Castle gets a little bit of a slide as he tries to get the power on. He's keeping it at 3/10. He really is keeping Ash honest here down now. Just having a little look at the inside. There may be a move, I think, down here into Smalley's hairpin. I don't think Smalley's picked up on the fact we've named a hairpin after him. So no, he's just going to the outside. Let's try an undercut. It's just a little bit of a squeeze there. Great defensive line in there from Ash. But this is giving Kimmy a chance to come back onto the back of these two as well. So we have got a 3-car. We're well over 500 now, 522 at the moment. So now going on to, we're just about to start the final lap, just coming down into the chicane for the penultimate time. Castle's just having to think about going around the outside. Down to the inside. Ash makes a real tight move to the inside of the chicane there, but makes it stick. And you've got Castle and Kimmy. It's just given Ash 0.8 across the line now. It could be that he's going to manage this gap till the end. A little bit of a battle there between the two Porsches coming onto the straight, but Castle's really coming back at him now. He's just taking 2/10 off him on the straight alone. Slipstream's really taking effect. It's going to be a hard move from here, and Ash will have to drive a very defensive race from here on in. Castle's gone deep. And it's gone out to a second now. So we're really going to see if Ash can hold his nerve now to the end. See if he can pedal his way through. The one thing you don't want to do is pick up any penalties going into this chicane and stuff on the last lap. 0.8 of a second's a good lead to have at this point on the lap. Castle's just nibbling back away a little bit too far away to take any advantage into here. I think if you're going to see him move, it's going to be into the last chicane. Little bit, ever such a slight bit of a slide there from Ash. So it's just giving Castle a turn. He's taken half his lead in now. So we're back down to 0.3. This is going to be moved down into the final chicane on the final lap. Castle's gone wide. He's gone well wide. That takes Ash's lead up to 1.5. And I believe unless Ash makes a mistake now, that is going to be a race-winning lead. So Ash will come across the line to take his debut OFR win. So he breaks down into this chicane for the last time, and Castle's conceded this now. Clean run through, steady run through, and Ash will cross the line at the Nürburgring GP circuit in Germany to take his debut OFR win. Great drive there from Ash, nearly start to finish. A great drive, some great defensive moves, and very close driving between these front three. And I don't think you're going to see a closer, clean battle all the way through the rest of this season. Fantastic result there. 7 finishes from, I believe, 10 starters. So we've lost 2 of the Apocalypse Racing cars there and Ready Shaven. So great drive match there. Across the line with a 1.8 second lead. Aided a little bit by Castle going wide on the last lap. but not taking anything away from Ash's win at all. So we had Castle second, Kimmy third, Harley fourth, Phil Babbitt fifth, Grim taking solid points in sixth when he crosses the line, and BJ Robbo will come across the line in seventh. Just the last two drivers to come across the line now. We've set a new record with the chat comments. We're up like over 550 now, so we'll see what else we can get. I think the next target is going to be 600. Grim, big drift across the line there. Drifterthy Dalton, that's what we'll have to call him from now on. So solid points from Grim there. A very, very late stand-in when he knew just as the D2 race had come to an end that it was going to need a driver. And BJ Robbo will come across the line in seventh. Oh, I tried to do a Grim. Did a 360. Do you know what I mean? It's a good move. We should maybe have a freestyle competition in these cars at some point. Trying to donut across the line. A little bit of an impact on the wall. But Robbo will come across the line in seventh. And yeah, great race. It's been an interesting one. Great debut with Rash. He'll take that, and we shall catch you all for round 7 next week.